So, Jai Shri Mataji, Namaste. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Friday night. Oops. Yeah, have I muted? Okay. Welcome to this Friday night's Saj Yoga meeting. My name's Nicholas. I live in UK, down in East Sussex, not far from the south coast, about 40 minutes from Eastbourne. So, this evening, a couple of things came to me that we might find useful. One is we could just do a little meditation before looking at a video, and the meditation, and then we'll do another one afterwards. So it came to my mind that Sri Mataji very often spoke of two processes very important for us, most important. One is introspection, and the other one is meditation. So as it's the end of a week and the end of a day, and maybe a lot of you or some of you have had working days or problems to solve and things to do. So we'll just spend a few minutes now quietly sitting and seeing if we can overcome the chatter that we have going on inside us all the time. And we can do this by not fighting the thinking or the ideas or the emotions going through us, but putting our attention on this introspective process. So what does that mean, introspection? It just means being, I suppose, quite brave and being detached, which you all know what that means, and looking inside us to see what can be improved, changed, surrendered, what and how we can try and find it easier and easier to get into that silence, to control and still our minds and be at one with our real self, our higher self, our spirit. So also, some of you may be used to raising your Kundalini straight away. This, I can't see you, but this will do in a minute, please, because I also remember the words of Sri Mataji saying, before you raise the Kundalini, get yourself centered, get yourselves balanced, and then it's much more effective and much easier. So if you just quietly, we're going to sit, we can always just do that sometimes to help the Kundalini come up. So if we just sit now quietly, see if we can put our attention up in Sahasrara, or at least along the central channel, Sushumna. Just let our attention move it up and stay up the top of the head if we can. The other way to steady the thinking is also to say, as you probably all know, I forgive, I forgive. Our minds get very bored with that. I forgive this thought, not this, not this. And to look for that little space between these thoughts when one falls, just as the other one's rising. Also, some people like to slow their breathing down. That sends a strong signal to the body and the mind of slowing everything down. We're taking it easy, not doing anything. So breathing slowly in and slowly out can help us a bit if we need to. So by looking inside, we're taking our attention away from the things that maybe our minds want to draw attention to. And it's very much up to you what you go for. You might say, I'm too impatient, or I'm too right-sided. So how are we going to cure that? How are we going to solve that? Just by putting our attention on it, we'll very often reveal a solution and the usual Sahaj techniques of balancing ourselves. some things are much more difficult than just balancing. There can be emotional problems, relationship problems, financial things, the warriors. So really we're looking for what takes us off balance, what takes us out of the central channel, out of the now. And the other thing is, of course, not to feel guilty or not to blame ourselves if I'm being too right-sided or too left-sided. It's no good getting guilty or blaming ourselves. It's just a matter of sorting it out. And that's where the other energy of detachment comes in. So we use these moments to have a good scan of ourselves. Maybe people said something about us today that we have to think about, look at, investigate, or we felt it. And of course, the other way to get through in the introspective process is to realize, remember who, as it were, we really are. The real aim of Sahaja Yoga, which Mataji has stressed so many times, which is to become our spirit, the spirit, our true selves, through love, to love that self and let that self love us, warts and all, which it does anyway. We don't necessarily always feel it. Then altogether we can draw our attention out of the session, the central channel, up to the top of our heads. And then we can raise our kundalinis and put ourselves into bend down, please.
My job is to encourage you, to tell you about your inner subtleties, your beauty. Now, do you know what beautiful thing you are? Let us talk about our inner beauty. What are we? Are we all these mad people? Are we all these people who are all the time are miserable? Or are we all these people who are always fighting? Those who are hankering after things, whom this matter dominates? No. We are the spirit. We are the spirit. We are the reflection of God Almighty, which is purity, which is truth, which is knowledge. We are that. We are not like ordinary people. How can we live on that level? Only if you are possessed, if you had a bad guru or something like that. Maybe you are going like a yo-yo, going up and down, up and down, up and down. But those who have crossed all those limits, have reached that state, should value that they are the spirit. So many spirits here sitting, reflecting God Almighty. I am such a proud mother. And all of you are capable of enlightening so many people in this world. But the beauty within you is that you are absolutely independent of anybody else. You depend only upon yourself, upon the source of your spirit, the joy of your spirit. You don't expect others to give you joy. Supposing somebody tomorrow comes and abuses me, I'll say, all right, doesn't matter. It never touches me because I am with myself. He is saying these things. He will suffer or not suffer, that's not my lookout. When you start depending upon yourself, just imagine a house which is standing on rocks. Like that you are. Try to feel it. Feel the rock within you. Try to understand. We are not going to behave like other people. It's all right, people who have built their houses on sands have to worry. Not we. We have built on rocks. So we have to be very courageous. We have to be very bold. At the same time, extremely humble. When the tree is laden with fruits, it bends down. So we worship the Mother Earth, we worship the sun, we worship the moon, we worship everything that is around us which has helped us. We worship our parents, everyone. But above all, we worship ourselves. Because we are worshipable. Now all of you have become saints. That doesn't mean that you develop beards and have all funny dresses and all that. Nothing of that. You have saint because inside you there is the fragrance of beautiful fragrance of your lotus. That's the spirit. This is the lotus you have made for me here. Such a beautiful lotus. I am sitting in a beautiful lotus. In the same way, is reflected in your heart. It's a beautiful lotus. Feel that lotus. How beautiful, how delicate it is. It's pink because pink is the lotus which invites everyone. Sign of generosity, of invitation. Pink color attracts all kinds of insects, everybody. So, Lotus is pink. And it invites everything, open to everything, not frightened of anything. But it comes out of the mire, comes out of absolutely horrible ponds. There are lots of worms going round it, all right? But it emits the fragrance and makes the whole pond so beautiful. That's what you are. Wherever you will be, you can create that beauty. You can flow that beauty. You can make people see what a spiritual person is. You are the reflector of Sahaja Yoga, not me. You have to reflect Sahaja Yoga. But such people are always in joy. And wisdom. Sri Ganesha is the giver of wisdom. Wisdom. How to behave at what time. How to say at what time. How far to go with everything. It just should become innate, Sahaj. You don't have to work it out, but should know. Now I'm a Sahajogini. Every morning you should tell yourself, I'm a Sahajogini. So how far I should go? How should I behave? I should behave. What should be my attitude? All this can be very easily understood if you develop this lotus of wisdom. How does the lotus come out? There is a seed, it sprouts. That's how the wisdom. There is already the seed within you. All of you have got. And now it has started opening because you are realized souls. Allow your wisdom to take over. So, how do you do it? There's one way I would say. Supposing mother had this problem, what she would have done? Very good idea. How she would have dealt with it. You may then say that we don't understand mother's style, so she's full of tricks. Correct, I am. But there's a very simple way of doing it. I surrender it to my wisdom. And the wisdom itself that is in you is active. It will work. This point also we should understand. Wisdom within you is active. There was one gentleman working at the airport in London. He's a Sahajogi, but he doesn't come to the collective, he has no time. So somebody said something harsh to him. Went home and he said that, it's not good, he said to me, you see, after all, I'm a Sahajogi. And next day, he heard the fellow has fallen from his bike. The gentleman might not have understood that because he said all these things, that's why this has happened to me. But he knew, because deities are all with you. So in wisdom you understand that all the deities are just with you. And whatever happens to you, they are before you. Nobody can harm you. Nobody can touch you. You are so protected. Lotuses are not protected. You are so protected that anybody tries to harm you, immediately there's protection. Also your own protection is there, as I said, that you jump into thoughtless awareness. We harm ourselves more than anybody else can sometimes. One friend of mine I knew, she was from very childhood, she was like that. Always crying for everything. Always she used to cry. For nothing at all, because she was such a spoiled child that she used to always cry. And I was surprised to see at a very young age she became blind. I said, how did you become so blind? She had to use a very thick glass and all that. She said, I used to cry so much, you remember? I said, that I remember. But did you cry even after school? Yes, I was always crying like this. So it's kind of a personality you develop that I like that, I just cry. Well, why not develop a personality that I am always in joy? Anything I see, I feel joyous. Anything I hear, I feel joy. Then this lotus of your fragrance will improve. And then activity of your wisdom will be that you will take all that is very beautiful. Easily you will get all that is very satisfying, very joyous. It's kind of an activity of this wisdom within you, which thus leads you to people who are extremely nice, to situations which are very beautiful, where you discover nice things. Or to such beautiful creations that you would never expect to see. It's very, very important to understand that you tell me, Mother, this miracle happened, that miracle happened. It's nothing. It's your own wisdom, your own spirit is working it out. You don't have to do anything. Only thing you have to remember that you are a Sahajogini and your character should be that of a Sahajogini, that your ideas should be that of a Sahajogini. Same with Sahajogis. Sahajogis, being men, they don't show much. But there are certain other ways of showing his temper. They get into tempers. And sometimes the tempers are so much that you just start looking what's the matter with the person. One side the tempers, another side the crying. I mean, in between what remains, I don't know. Both things are absolutely not needed. Some people think also that if you are joyous, you have to be very serious. Not at all. What is there to be serious? What is so serious in this world? Everything is stupidity. I don't find anything serious in this world. And I can't keep serious for more than 3 minutes. Sometimes people take advantage of that, but what can I do? That's my nature. What is so serious? You don't have to create sun, you don't have to create moon, you don't have to create Mother Earth. What's so serious? What great jobs have you to do? Everything is there for you. Just enjoy. What is there to be so serious? Some people, try to impress also by their seriousness. And by becoming serious, if you think your problems will be solved, they will not. At the same time, I must tell you, we should not be frivolous. We should not be vulgar and not frivolous. That's not. See these flowers. Look at them. They are shaking with my vibrations. But look at them in their own dignity. They are going to die tomorrow. They are not bothered. As long as they are all right there in their own place, giving you pleasure and happiness, finished. What is the use of a light? Let us see as a light as we are, to give the light. So we are here to give joy, happiness to everyone. to make everyone happy. There are so many ways of making others happy. And for that we have to learn also. So many things we have to learn how to make others happy. And then when you make them happy, then you feel that joy within yourself. Oh, that's so happy. See their happiness, then only this lotus opens out much more. Like a ripple moves and moves to the end of the shores, and then from the shore it returns back to you. In the same way, when your joy reaches the joy of others, then the ripples that come up make a beautiful pattern of your life. Just think of such situations where you did something good to others, been very nice to others, and then you found the joy in that person, and how that joy came back to you. Think of that pattern that you felt so subtly in your life, how it is built in. Whenever you think of that time or that moment or that area, whole picture comes to you. So, you have to first understand that life is for giving joy to others. Because you are now saints and your light has to give joy. Little bit you have to bear. Yes, you have powers to bear. You have all the powers.
So we can stay in a meditative state now. Just a couple of things from that talk of Srimataji. One was one of the ways of doing introspection, like what would Srimataji do? So sometimes we could ask ourselves, what would Srimataji do in this situation or to solve this problem? That's not a bad one. And the other things we can meditate on in between the silence is to be in joy ourselves, but also Srimataji stressed giving joy, making people happy and letting the ripples go forth and come back to us. Am I doing that? Am I capable of doing that? Do I want to do that? How can I do that? So I will say a mantra. I will say it rather than chant it, because I find that comes a bit easier from the heart, to the Sri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat, Sri Ganesha Sakshat, Sri Adishakti Mataji, Sri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat, Sri Ganesha Sakshat, Sri Adishakti Mataji, Sri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat, Sri Ganesha Sakshat, Sri Adishakti Mataji, Sri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. And let us see if from the base of our spine to the support of our whole system, we can let this pure energy of love flow up along the central channel, flowing into the chakras on either side and in the center, nourishing them and awakening them, and asking our Mother Kundalini to rise up and to flow into our chakras, to cleanse our chakras, to awaken the deities within them, right up through the void, through our stomach area, up through the chest, up through the neck and through the head, and shooting out through the top of our head as far as you want, out from the top of our head. Because sometimes to get ourselves free of our thoughts and emotions and conditionings, we need to be like rockets to get up to the speed, to be able to leave the atmosphere. And sometimes we have to get that energy to get out of the atmosphere of our own selves and of our thinking. So let's just all try and keep our attention in the Sahasrara. And as many of you know who've been doing this through Zoom, it's quite extraordinary how through the ethers the brain waves and the patterns can all start coming together, and we all get on the same wavelength, as it were, with the same vibrations. Okay. So let's just continue meditating, but we'll just be in silence now. Let's open our attention, bring it back up to that Sahasrara. It always wants to move away, so we'll bring it back. Because if we all can get into Sahasrara, we're all really connected. We all meet there. Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunamika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Mataji. So now we could raise our kundalinis and put ourselves in bandhan. So that brings us to the end of this evening. And I wish you well and be in the joy and keep making other people joyful and make them happy. Jai Shri Mataji and good night.